What does it mean that Jesus is God's only begotten Son? A presentation of God Questions Ministries. The phrase, only begotten Son, occurs in John 3, verse 16, which reads in the King James Version as, For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. The phrase, only begotten, translates the Greek word monogenes. This word is variously translated into English as only, one and only begotten. It's this last phrase, only begotten, used in the King James Version, New American Standard Bible, and the New King James Version, that causes problems. False teachers have latched onto this phrase to try to prove their false teaching that Jesus Christ isn't God. That is, that Jesus isn't equal in essence to God as the second person of the Trinity. They see the word begotten and say that Jesus is a created being because only someone who had a beginning in time can be begotten. What this fails to note is that begotten is an English translation of a Greek word. As such, we have to look at the original meaning of the Greek word, not transfer English meanings into the text. So what does monogenes mean? According to the Greek-English lexicon of the New Testament and other early Christian literature, 3rd edition, monogenes has two primary definitions. The first definition is pertaining to being the only one of its kind within a specific relationship. This is the meaning attached to its use in Hebrews 11, verse 17, when the writer refers to Isaac as Abraham's only begotten son. Abraham had more than one son, but Isaac was the only son he had by Sarah, and the only son of the covenant. The second definition is pertaining to being the only one of its kind or class, unique in kind. This is the meaning that is implied in John 3, verse 16. In fact, John is the only New Testament writer who uses this word in reference to Jesus. See John 1, verse 14, John 3, verse 18, 1 John 4, verse 9. John was primarily concerned with demonstrating that Jesus was the Son of God, John 20, verse 31. And he uses this word to highlight Jesus as uniquely God's Son, sharing the same divine nature as God, as opposed to believers who are God's sons and daughters through faith. The bottom line is that terms such as Father and Son, that are descriptive of God and Jesus, are human terms used to help us understand the relationship between the different persons of the Trinity. If you can understand the relationship between a human Father and a human Son, then you can understand, in part, the relationship between the first and second persons of the Trinity. The analogy breaks down if you try to take it too far and teach, as some Christian cults, such as the Jehovah's Witnesses, that Jesus was literally begotten, as in produced or created, by God the Father. This has been a presentation of God Questions Ministries, www.godquestions.org.